Yeah, let's call our TV Scott Free Library meeting to order, our regular meeting. Do you have any correspondence you'd like to share with us this afternoon?
Yeah, we have a thank you from Faith. Here's a thank you from one of our regulars, and with a donation, the Tree of Hope, as a Tree of Hope contributor and as a contributor to Food for Kids. So, just thank you to the library for the donations we make.
Is there any public comment? I don't believe so. Your pleasure on the minutes from our January 15th meeting.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion made to approve and second and approve the minutes of our January 15th meeting. Any discussion? All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are approved. The vouchers for January. I don't see what public service bill is that in someplace else? Or I suppose at the beginning, you're gonna have two next month.
Yeah, if it doesn't come in time.
Your pleasure on the
It's okay.
vouchers for,
I'll make a motion to approve.
A second.
any discussion on the vouchers for?
Mr.
Yes.
President? So I'm just noticing the Newegg business, which if I then dig through the vouchers, I see that Newegg business was for youth services computers. And I just wanted to double check, is that for public-facing computers or for youth services staff computers?
Those are public.
Those are public. How long do we expect them to last?
How long?
Yeah.
Um,
Because it seems to me we've replaced youth services computers a couple of times, even in the short amount of time that I've been on the board. And I'm wondering if there's, if it's a case of durability, like are they just facing so much more hard use, or or are we changing the types of computers?
We changed the types of computers.
Did we go from the water cooled to standard ones, or the other
Yes.
direction? So we're done with the water cooled.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Mr. President. Was that what these were, was replacing the water
Yes,
cooled?
yeah.
Great, that's what I wanted to confirm, thank
Yep,
you.
yep.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor of approval of our vouchers for January, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are approved. Your pleasure on the unaudited income and expense report for, it's still on audit,
Yes.
for December 24.
Takes a while.
I don't think it's any different than last month, right? When you-
We didn't have one because they didn't have it complete, so.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. Motion made and seconded to approve the monthly unaudited expense report for December. Any other discussion? All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are approved. Now, your pleasure for the January vouchers. Their income statement.
Yep,
and
revenue
expense
and
report.
expense, yep.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the January income and expense report. Any discussion? All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They are approved. And the monthly statistical report for January.
Foot traffic's up. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the statistical report for January. Any discussion?
Foot traffic is up. Yeah, the rest of it is hanging in there, barely.
Because it's warm in here, that's why.
Which, well, that's an interesting point, because I have recently heard from some people about the issue of a warming shelter or not, so it's interesting that you raise that. But you don't really think that the foot traffic is due to cold temperatures, do you? Because for all of January, like it's up 4%
Mhm.
or a little more, but it's not.
Not necessarily. I mean, we have a few more in here at that time with, a lot of time it'll be, someone with young kids.
Right.
typically.
Playgrounds are cold right now.
And any other discussion on this statistical report?
No?
All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Here's our annual report. Now, I think you want a motion on that, right?
So, yeah, we need two separate motions. So the first one is for just the review of the entire report for Wisconsin D-Day Public Library Annual Report.
I'll make a motion to approve that report.
I'll second.
Motion made and second to approve the report. Any discussion? Other than it looks like a lot of work.
I do have sort of one question, and because, and I noticed it from the report, and then I went back and sort of looked at it in the finances as well, which is the amount of money that we pay for movie rights. And I'm wondering if the amount that we are paying is, if we're still laboring under the rules where we're not allowed, when we advertise or write a press release, to say what the movie is, even though we are actually paying for the rights to show a movie.
But it's the company that that is one of their regulations. In order for us to have that public license, we cannot publicly advertise the title of the film. We can put it on we can put it on anything inside of our building, but we can't outside of the building.
Right.
It's just part of the contract.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I know it is. I know it's kind of bizarre.
Because we're paying enough money for those movies that
I know.
and I only ask because recently I've had to pay movie rights and for other films,
Sure.
for performance, and that, it's been a similar number, even though I've been allowed to say what movie it is.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
noticed that, okay? Nope, otherwise, it was the only weird thing.
Okay, motion made to approve the audit report. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Okay, your pleasure on the system effectiveness report.
Yeah, so that's on page 11. Page 11, explanation of library board's response to, we did provide effective leadership, saying that Wisconsin Valley Library System Service provided effective leadership and adequately met the needs of the library, and the explanation I gave below. In 2024, the library system administration team and staff once again spent a great deal of time evaluating processes and support provided to member libraries. In doing so, this library observed changes being made that not only improve the existing effective leadership and guidance that have been experienced in past years, but has developed new and improved processes that will allow them to continue meeting the needs of all libraries in the library system. The library system met the needs of this library.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the system effectiveness explanation. Any other discussion? All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. We have been in contact with Ruder Ware. Melissa is our attorney down there, and we have a engagement letter. Oh,
First thing is the endowment
Yeah.
fund report.
Well, you can skip over it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, it's on there.
I'm getting old, guys.
I know, she's going over there. Shh, shh.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway.
Yep, so it's all in here. This was a learning experience for sure. Next year, well, in June, it should go smoother. But it's all here. I have the breakout of everything, all the expenses, if you want to see individual, but we didn't include that. So overall, year end, Crossbridge bank balance was $81,840. Edward Jones, we have the money market, CD, and mutual funds there for a total of $356. And then we also have the Incredible Bank CD, which comes up in July, I believe, for $218,000 for total assets of $656,000. Now, this does not include what we're gonna talk about with Rooter Ware with the
Trust.
trust. So, just wanted to point that out. And previously, we had it broken out into special projects. There's 3 different ones. We have it all lumped into one now, so at the Cross Bridge. Any questions?
I'm going to entertain a motion to approve her report.
Second.
Motion made and second to approve the unaudited endowment fund report. Any discussion? All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Thank you, and a good job, and thanks again.
Well, thank you. It's a good team.
I help a little bit, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, all right, now we're to the deal with Rooter Ware. They want us to sign an engagement letter. The dollars and cents on there, they sort of promised it would be a $3,000 project. All this hours and stuff and that, but that's just their standard letters. But they wanted us to sign it, which I haven't yet. So does somebody want to make a motion to approve the acceptance of the authorization for legal services?
Make motion.
Seconded.
Motion made and second to approve the authorization of the legal service with Rooter Ware. Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, I'll take care of that now. Hopefully we'll have much more to tell you for next time. Basically, we told them what we thought we needed in the agreement, and then they're going to add that to the template or whatever you call it for trust, and we'll see what happens. They've got no objections to all the things that we've asked, which is basically what we've been doing for the last, 10 years? 2009, 12, 15 years.
16?
16. Basically, that's just doing what we've been doing. In other words, and thank you. All right, now, request for the endowment fund for $295 for the brochure
For the endowment.
for the endowment fund.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made and seconded to approve the expense of $295 for the printing of the new endowment fund brochures. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. I don't know if you haven't checked out the youth services remodeling job you wrote on your way out.
Plastic is there, but it's coming along nicely. The flooring is in, the doors are in, they just installed those today. Of course, with any construction project, the cabinets are what is going to hold things up. Next Tuesday, we are scheduled to have the glass wall installed on the one end. They informed me of that this morning. They've kept it really clean. They've been phenomenal to work with. We did manage to gain a little extra storage space just because of some difference in some plan views, but it worked out in our favor. Libraries don't have enough storage space, and we gained like a 2-by-6-foot section, which is huge for us. Might not sound so big, but for us it is. 2-by-6 is big. So
No change orders? No change orders?
no. We've been fairly good so far. So good. Once that glass wall goes up, we'll see. So, but it's been exciting to watch. We're excited be able to utilize that space. We already have, things planned and ready to go. As far as the furnishings, those will come in closer to the completion. They're still looking at mid-March, they'd be done first part of March, middle of March. They're fairly certain that they're feeling good about that yet. So then the furnishings will come in. Those browsing bins that I had mentioned previously, those again, we're still on their list for completion in October. That's still along. We're maybe somewhere down the line they'll, move us up, but right now we're still October. And as a result, we are still looking at a fall open house to celebrate the renovations. So that's what I got.
Any other discussion?
Any questions?
Don't need any motion or anything
No,
on that,
no.
right? Any other questions or comments? Strategic goals, step number 21, or essential number 21. No, let's see, the strategic goals is number 4. There we go. I can't keep up here.
Okay, lots of paper.
Anything, any questions on it? Our goal number 4 about collections. And the library board and accessible services. Trustee essential number 21. And then your report, please.
So I, listed some of the highlights of the programs coming up. That Monarchs, Milkweed, and Other Endangered Friends by Don Evans. This gentleman, he was kind of funny when he asked about setting up for the event. He says, I don't know, set up maybe 9 or 10 chairs. Well, we've had a lot of people calling about that. He has no idea how popular monarchs are around here, and he will shortly. And we've had a lot of people calling, interested in the program, so I think he will be surprised. Yes, just a little overwhelmed. Anyway, so we do have the library social hour with Elizabeth McCrank on Friday, February 28th from 3:30 to 4:30 again. We do have a few things, digital literacy workshop, cybersecurity with Chris Sprague and Maria Pregler. So one thing that I failed to write in my report is it has now been announced in the Photo News that TV Scott Free Library received a $10,000 PLA grant. And it'll provide us financial support to hire trainers, non-library staff to conduct workshops. I had previously mentioned that we were working with Bug Tussle University out of Green Bay. However, they've had to step back because their federal funding has been put on hold. So we will be, we are going to contact them because we have the fundings through the grant to pay. We are going to see if they are willing to still support us if we are, if we can come up with an agreement on the cost. But on top of that, we are also going to be reaching out to MAPS. We are going to reach out to NTC and to see if we can get some of their trainers, get some of their instructors here in Merrill to do some of that. The grant needs to be spent by the end of May. So, but in addition to those workshops, we can also purchase digital or physical aids to increase accessibility. So again, things that we can do here at the library to provide that. It also pays for any of the PR, printout handouts, any of the announcements we make in the Photo News. We can purchase non-capital equipment. So with the new activity room, that will be done before that grant is complete, and we are hoping to be able to buy some equipment that we will use for some of the workshops in that activity space that will remain in that activity space, because the grant does provide us that opportunity. It provides us opportunity to do giveaways for drawings for prizes, things of that nature, providing snacks, food, transportation for attendees. We can also provide childcare for attendees. We can hire translators or interpreters. It's pretty broad, so we are keeping that in mind as we schedule some of the workshops along the way. So, So that's what that's about, and so we've started, we have to meet a quota on the number of individuals that attend these workshops. We've done a couple of things with staff already, and now we're opening up some digital literacy workshops to the community. And just stay tuned to what we post on our website and social media. We have 2 of our staff members that are attending courses through the UWI school. Maria is attending the oral history course that they are offering, hoping to spin off on that and do some programming. We have genealogists in this area, and oral histories are important. So we're hoping that we can do some programming with that. And Andrea has attended the virtual Power Up Leadership Conference for Youth Services Managers that was just held recently. Again, bringing some ideas for programming here to the library. For WVLS rep, right now we are working at making some contacts with individuals that are library patrons here in Lincoln County to see if they are interested in serving on the board. So that is in the process. I've made a couple of contacts already. And then I provided you with an enormous book of information. It's what they do. It's what the staff does. I mean, it's what they do for us, and that's what we're paying for them. And they are busy. They are busy. It's a lot of stuff going on.
Who's Ryan Dowd? He keeps popping up in this book.
So Ryan Dowd is, he's from Illinois, in the Chicago area. He actually ran one of the homeless shelters, or is part of it.
I wondered if it was that guy.
Yes, it is. So he was an attorney, and he got involved with the homeless shelter down in Chicago. And since then, that's been his baby. He's still an attorney, but he's still heavily involved with the homelessness in the Chicago area. He is phenomenal. I wish we could bring him here. He's not a cheap gig, but he is entertaining to watch. So anytime we have workshops, we just recently did one on Alzheimer's, dealing with patrons that are suffering from dementia and Alzheimer's. It was good. He always has great stories to share because of his experiences, and so it's easier for us to understand because he can bring it to life.
So if you're closing in on May and you need to spend the rest of that grant?
You might just call Ryan.
So I did have one question from this, which is that they indicate in here that they're still working with Northern Waters on certain projects and procedures. So is WVLS still trying to woo Northern Waters, or
I don't think that process. Didn't completely go away.
Okay.
It is. I think it is running in the background.
Right.
They now have a new director in Northern Waters. That person has to get comfortable with where they're at with things. I'm fairly certain it is something that will be revisited again in a few years.
Right.
Nothing in the immediate future.
It just seemed like it was an attempt to keep connections with that system,
Right.
which is not a bad thing.
And we do for the most part. We share personnel from IFLS. There's some of the things that go on here just in Wisconsin Valley Library System. They have staff that are more qualified or better qualified for certain things. So we still collaborate with the different library systems. We also do that with the Southern.
Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. President.
All right. WVLS, Friends of the Library, they're going to be meeting this month and see what happens. I know they want to do a book sale. Our closet says they need to, so we just got a shipload of boxes. Was it this morning? Like 4 big boxes of books. So yeah, it's filling up fast.
She'll look at them. Elizabeth will look at them.
Yes.
And take them home.
And then I did mention already the project. Staff report, like I mentioned, we're like any other place. We have someone that will be retiring in April. And let's you know, all that institutional knowledge. We're going to work real hard to share that with others along the way. And we will miss her, but that is set for mid-April. The RFID project, you're scheduled to get the doors come April, or not the doors, excuse me, the gate by the doors. That'll be in April. We had to make sure that we had all of the construction stuff done before they brought in that, so that will take place. As I mentioned, I attended the Library Legislative Day on the 11th. It's a good time for the librarians and the different systems to get together and talk about what's important for our patrons. And we, like I mentioned here, we tell our stories to the legislators so they understand the importance of the community libraries and the financial support that they provide. The Wisconsin Library Association Library Legislative Committee, right now the ask to the state or the budget is a total of $6 million, $2 million for 2026, and $4 million for the following 2027. That is the ask right now. So we'll see where that goes. We have some amazing supporters in our state legislature. We are fortunate in that respect. So hopefully they can come through for us again. It's a lot of talking, a lot of walking, but it's good. The conversations are good. Definitely get a feel for where the legislators stand, just in the conversations. And we spend a lot of time talking to them, just in educating. And there were quite a few newbies on the block, and so just talking with them and answering questions. And we also meet with staff. Some of them are busy when we get there, and so and their staff, they keep them in line. So some of the staff members know a great deal more sometimes, just because of where things are at. But it's a good conversation. So that's all I have.
Any questions, comments, suggestions? I don't have any report other than glad to see everybody made it today. Why?
Nothing.
Anyway, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thanks again, everybody.